The continuing battle against distracted driving. Why you should care. Welcome back to Techstination. I'm Fred Fishkin. If one of your goals this year is to take better care of yourself and your family, a good place to start might be the car, according to Sara Frankowiak, VP and Actuary at State Farm Insurance. Hi, Sara.
Hi, Fred. Thanks for having me.
Oh, a pleasure to see you. And there are stats that show just how big of a problem distracted driving is. Give us the overview.
Yeah, well, the Center for Disease Control defines distracted driving as anything that either takes our eyes off the road, our hands off the wheel, or our minds off of our driving. So you can imagine that's quite a few things. And according to the Department of Transportation, about 29% of crashes had some form of distracted driving as a root cause. So then we're talking to your point about some staggering stats. $100 billion in economic damages from those crashes. So we're talking about damage to property, but more importantly, damage to people. Over 1 million injuries to drivers and or the passengers in these vehicles, and finally 10,000 fatalities a year from distracted driving events.
And people assume when we're talking these days about distracted driving that we're talking about the phone primarily.
Yeah.
You can address that, but it does go way beyond it, as you said.
Yeah, you're right. Definitely the phone, right? 34% of drivers who crash have interacted with their phone within a minute of that occurrence. So definitely the phone, and we can talk about that. But there's things besides the phone that cause us to take our hands off the wheel, or our eyes off the road, or our minds off of our driving. You could be eating. You could be maybe spill a little bit, have to get a napkin. I have a new pet, and she likes to hop up in the front seat and push all the gadgets in the front seat, which means I have to try to grab her and keep her from doing that. So that's a learning opportunity for me. Or getting the navigation. Where am I going? I have to put that into my phone to tell me where to go. So certainly those things. There's lots of things that we could be doing, but the phone absolutely is one of them. I just took a breath and paused for 2 seconds there. That's how long it takes to take your eyes off the road for 2 seconds, doubles your chances of a crash. It takes 4 to 5 seconds to read a text or send a text. So absolutely that phone is a big distraction for us.
People have been told this for a long time, that the battle against texting and driving or using the phone, a hand, picking it up and even talking while you're driving.
Mhm.
I guess the question is, people know this isn't the right thing to do, but there many, if not most, are doing it anyway. So tell us what advice you have about changing the behavior.
Yeah, you're right. And unfortunately, I don't think there's one magical answer, but raising awareness through conversations like this, right? And those statistics are really shocking. Um, there's states that are passing laws around not being able to have a phone in your hand while you're driving. Certainly, those things help. If you think about the impact that seatbelt laws have had on all of our safety, and that took decades, but now seatbelt usage is just second nature, right? My kids wouldn't even have known a day where they wouldn't automatically buckle that seatbelt when they hop in. So we do form habits. We do it slowly. There are things you can do with your phone. Turn it on do not disturb mode. You can throw it in a bag. You can throw it in the back seat. My dog is now buckled safely into the back seat, so she can't bother me. But you could also talk to your insurance company about a telematics program. So State Farm has a great program called Drive Safe and Save. Not only do drivers who are driving safely get a discount, which helps all of our pocketbooks, but also there's an app with that program that can give you immediate feedback on how you're driving, maybe where there was some hard braking or cornering, which sometimes could be a byproduct of distracted driving, but it can even pick up incidents where maybe that phone was being moved around and there was perhaps some distraction going on, to give some feedback to help us kind of correct in the moment.
When there's a new driver in the house, parents are usually pretty vocal about things like don't text when you're driving, put your phone away. I guess that can have a positive impact to some extent, maybe even on the parental behavior.
That's right. Our kids are going to do what they see us doing, right? Do as I do, say not as I do doesn't work so well. So definitely we can be thinking about the example that we're setting for those who are either in the car watching us or maybe even pulled up right beside us. I think we've all probably noticed somebody driving nearby that we suspect was distracted. We see maybe a swerve or a little bit of slowdown, or maybe then a hard brake. And so we can observe it, maybe call it out and take note of it. If we see others doing it, it might be a reminder that maybe when I was just looking away for that 2 seconds or 3 seconds, I might have had a behavior like that too, that affected somebody else.
And you mentioned the telematics before. What has State Farm learned? Do the financial incentives, are they effective?
Yeah, I think everyone likes to save money, and particularly right now in these economic times, I think that's important to people. But I think it's also a way to engage, right? We like to be on our phones, and so after driving, if you want to get on your phone and check out maybe what that route looked like, or where there was some areas for improvement, or just learn a few things, we do find that people like to engage with that.
Interesting. So for more info, where can people go?
You can go to statefarm.com for more information about distracted driving, and you can look up to Drive Safe and Save too.
Terrific. Sara Frankowiak, thank you so much for spending time with us.
Thank you.
The Haven 10,000 lantern is a smartly designed, beautiful solar light that you will love indoors or out. It is waterproof with up to 1200 lumens of brightness, that's a lot of light, and the base becomes a flashlight at the push of a button. The power comes from a built-in lithium-ion battery recharged by the sun, the solar panel is built in, or USB-C. The battery can even recharge your phone. Did we mention how durable it is, how it folds down and can run for up to 120 hours on a charge? But the real power of the Haven Lantern comes from the people behind it and their mission to provide this quality lighting to those in the world who need it most, including in disaster emergencies. Your purchase helps to fund those efforts, and if you use the code TEXTINATION20, you'll get it at a 20% discount. That's TEXTINATION20 at havenlantern.com. Create your haven.